So a major difference between the French and the English conveyancing system is that the initial contract is signed at a very early stage of the process, and it means that at the time of signature of the initial contract, the pre-completion searches have not taken place. This is the reason why there is a need to insert conditions within the initial contract. There will be standard conditions, such as the seller's clear title guarantee. There will be a condition in relation to the local search results, not revealing any adverse planning restrictions. And there will be a standard condition in respect of finance if buyers are reliant on applying for a French mortgage in order to finance their purchase. So it is important to note that these are standard conditions, but it is also possible to negotiate your own conditions suspensive if you need to, and obviously subject to the parties' agreement. One potential condition that you might wish to negotiate with the other party is, for instance, if you would like to build an extension or a swimming pool that is not there yet, then it might be possible for the parties to agree that you will be able to obtain some form of planning approval for that construction before completion. Sellers of private properties in France are required to provide a set of diagnostic surveys to their buyers before they sign the initial contract. These surveys will depend on the age, the condition of the property, and the area. They vary in scope, but you can expect to find a lead report or an asbestos report, or perhaps a survey regarding the electrical installation at the property. If the property is in a rural area that is not connected to the main drainage system, then you will also be provided with a survey regarding the condition of the private individual drainage system. It is really important to note that these surveys are limited in scope. For instance, the diagnostic expert is not required to inspect all the areas, and especially the areas that are not easily accessible. Therefore, it might be that a room that is full of clutter or the attic that cannot be reached will not be inspected. In addition, it's important to understand that those diagnostic surveys will not comment on the structural soundness of the property. Therefore, you should also consider obtaining your own structural survey that you will commission at your own costs. If buyers would like to obtain such a structural survey, then it's really important to discuss it with the sellers at the time of making the offer, and also to obtain that survey before the initial contract is signed. So when people are buying a property in France, it is really important to consider the structure of ownership before completion takes place. It is because some of the options will not be available following completion. The main structure of ownership in France is ownership in division. This is akin to a tenancy in common and means that each owner owns a distinct share of the French property. Therefore, when one of the owners dies, the share passes under the deceased succession as opposed by survivorship. There is an alternative structure of ownership that is called intentine, and this is akin to a joint tenancy. That means that when the first owner dies, the surviving owner is deemed to have owned the property from the start. It can be a good estate planning tool in certain circumstances, especially if one wishes to bypass the French reserved heirship rules. It can also simplify the succession formalities. However, it is quite inflexible, and le time clause can have severe disadvantages and tax consequences, so it is therefore important to seek the right advice. It is also possible to buy a French property via a company structure, although we rarely advise buying a property under a UK company structure for various reasons, including tax reasons. Instead, buyers might consider buying a property under a French company, such as a SCI or SARL de famille. It can be advantageous in certain circumstances, but the setup can be quite burdensome, and it is therefore very important to seek the right legal accountant advice before setting up that company.